Hey guys, what's up? Danny here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a weather update as of January 30th, 2023. So, what's so important right now? Let me explain this to you guys. So, right now, right, everybody, a lot of people in the Northeast, they're probably wondering, where's the snow? There barely has been any snow so far this season, right? And it's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of horrible, right? There's been a couple of traces of snow, but that's about it. And that's pretty unusual for this time of year. Usually, we are supposed to see like 15 inches by this time, but that's how the season has been going. So today I'm going to be discussing the chances for like 3 to 6, like inches of snow within the next like 2 or 3 weeks in the Northeast. So let me tell you, there's going to be a very, very big Arctic blast that's going to be coming through the Northeast in about a week, and the temperatures are probably going to go extremely low, and especially I could just imagine the wind chills are going to be even lower, right? So like probably like in the negative single digits in the Northeast. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be. In the mountains, it's going to be in the negative double digits, right? In degrees Fahrenheit, right? Centigrade is probably going to be like minus 20 or lower type stuff. So let's kind of go through what the GFS model is showing us right now. And as you can tell, there's kind of like a snowstorm setup right now going on through the Northeast, and because we have like these systems coming through like the Southeast, but there's just not enough moisture. There's not a lift. There's not enough lift in the atmosphere, right? Because we have a very, very cold high right here up to the north, as y'all could tell, and no. Out here in the west, that's where the very cold high is. There's a low pressure system up there to the north, right? That's kind of guiding the cold air down. And the high pressure here, right? It would make it, so there's a chance of some snow showers, through the Northeast the next couple days, but definitely nothing too big, right? GFS model kind of shows the slow developing here, right? There's a chance of snow, but it's definitely not going to be that much. But if there's more lift in the atmosphere and more moisture, then this could have been a massive winter storm. Because when you talk about like multiple days, right, you have that one low pressure coming through, and then there's another one, you guys see it off the coast, and there's another one that comes through, right? So that could have been a massive winter storm. So as we go through, right, it's just the timing is horrible right now, right? You see like the cold air comes through the Northeast, but then we have a low pressure system, like a nor'easter that comes through around February 6th, right? But there's not enough cold air, so there's only snow like in extreme inland portions of the Northeast because there's not enough cold air, right? So as we continue going through the model, right, you kind of just see just a lot of warm air and systems just not meeting up with each other, right? Here we have two systems, they're not meeting up with each other, so there's like snow in the extreme interior portions of the Northeast, but nothing in like, you know, other portions. So let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center. Let's just take a look at what they're saying when it comes to the temperatures within the next couple weeks. So that it looks like it's going to be above average throughout the eastern portion of the United States, right? You draw a line through the middle of the United States, right? And you could tell that it's going to be above average in the eastern part and below average in the western part. So California is going to be experiencing some cold, and throughout the entire United States, looks like the precipitation should be above average, but maybe in California it'll be below. And if we go through 3 to 4 week outlook, right, again above average precipitation with above average temperatures, that's possible, but that could be bound to change in the future, and mainly because February, a lot of the times, right, that's where like the month that the Northeast has been getting the most snow recently has been February. That those have been the trends, right? So I'm gonna go through the ensembles for these models too, and I'll let you guys know what I think about those ensembles and if there is a chance of snow within the next couple of weeks. So as I go through the Canadian model here, right, shows a little bit of snow throughout this portion, some rain in the southeast, and then that cold front comes through. It's gonna get extremely cold, right? Because I'm pretty sure if the winds are coming from the north, then then it'll get very cold in the northeast, right? Sometimes westerly winds aren't the ones that bring in the most cold. It's straight out of the north, right? Especially in the state of New Jersey, if the winds are from the north instead of the west, then you get a lot more cold air because obviously the cold air is from the north, not from the west. Uh, let's see. So let's take a look at the wind real quick. 10-meter wind, so it looks like it's gonna be out of the northwest. So I think that's yeah, it's gonna get pretty cold. And as you can tell, the high is extremely cold. It's like 1038 or whatever. So like that is extremely cold. So as I keep going through this model, right, you just kind of see a lot of like very very warm air throughout the northeast. So let's take a look at the European model real quick. Let's see what it's showing. And again, it's kind of showing the same things as the GFS, right? And um, at the end of the period, though, it's kind of showing some high pressure coming in through this area with a bunch of moisture coming in from the south. So who knows? Potentially there could be a winter storm in and around mid-February. I would say that would probably be the best time for a winter storm, right? Because right now we kind of look in the next couple of days and it's just not really that favorable for snow. So I feel like mid-February it could get very very cold. So let's see. So I wanted to show you guys this too, and I actually just remembered this. If you take a look at the northern hemisphere, you could take a look at the thermodynamics. No, let's go back to the GFS, and you could take a look at the thermodynamics from the 10 millibar height. Okay, so what this is that it shows where the cold air is going to go. So it looks like throughout time, the cold air is actually going to stay over the North Pole and stuff, right? So it looks like there's not going to be that many Arctic blasts, right? So right now we're dealing with a massive Arctic blast. That's gonna, as you can tell right here, January 27th. You see how, guys, this is what you guys have to realize. You see how it shows that like the Arctic is like connected to the Northeast. Well, in a couple of days, it's gonna get extremely cold in the Northeast. Why? Because the cold air from the top, it translates to the bottom layers of the atmosphere, and it takes like at least a week or like a couple of weeks for it to do that, right? So that means that if you really want to get some insight as to what's going to go on in the future with the weather, if it's going to be above or below average, you take a look at these type of anomalies and stuff. And yeah, so it looks like the cold air is going to stay up there in the Arctic, but that's definitely not going to stop it. It's been fluctuating around Greenland, right? So there's definitely going to be some cold blasts going through the Northeast, right? But I don't think that February is going to be that cold, right? Just looking at this upper air dynamics. So if we take a look at the what do you call it? The GEFS, right? Take a look at the 10 MB anomalies here, and yeah, but it does show more of a ridge here in the west, right? So that's why you see more higher in the west. Then you could get more of a trough in the east. So that's why I think mid-February it could get pretty cold. So what else can we look at? Let's take a look at the COD meteorology. I'm pretty sure that's where I could see the ensembles individually. So let's take a look at that. The GDPS, precipitation, hold on guys. Yeah, the GEFS, that's what I gotta look at, okay? So let's go to ensemble precip accumulation, and let's go to a different area real quick. Hold up. Sector selection. Let's go throughout the entire United States, right? And let's take a look at the winter ensemble mean snow accumulation, ensemble precipitation type. So here we could see a bunch of different ensembles, right? And the potential outcomes for what could happen within the next couple of days. So the ensembles in the GEFS, actually some of them show that the Northeast could actually get a good amount of snow, and that this storm system could ramp up. So I would give it like a 30% chance that this system could actually ramp up more, and actually cause snow in the Northeast. So as you can tell, a lot of the models, they're showing very light snow, but you could take a look at some of these, right? They're showing very heavy snow, right? I think only 2 or 3 are actually showing snow. And if I look in the forecast right now for Teaneck, so for forecast hour 48, this is on around Tuesday or Wednesday. Uh, so yeah, like freaking Tuesday night or something. There could be some snow flurries, but I don't think it's gonna be anything major. But there's a small chance that the storm could rev up and become something much larger, right? As we could continue going through time and stuff, right? The GFS does show a massive system coming through the kind of like the northeast, the eastern part of the United States area, but there's a lot of warm air on every single one of the models. So I'm definitely not confident with this storm system. But as we go through time, for forecast hour 246, there's like a massive storm that all of these ensembles are projecting. Well, a lot of them are projecting, right? So, and some of them are pointing towards snow in the northeast, but I think it's probably going to be a ridge in the northeast during that time, so probably no snow there. And as we continue towards the end of the period, right, there's another storm that the models are picking up on, and most of the models are showing it in the middle of the United States right here, or like in the top if you guys look at the top. And there's a model that's also showing the storm like giving the northeast a lot of snow. So yeah, guys, we just have to like kind of wait a little bit more, see how like the season plays out and stuff. But I definitely do think that the Northeast is going to have many different opportunities to see storms, and you guys just subscribe to me. I'll keep you guys updated about everything. And yeah, so that's it, yo. So let's take a look at ensemble snow accumulation and kind of see what the ensembles are showing with the accumulation. And so the big areas for snowfall, obviously throughout the northern part of the United States, but as you could tell, some of these models are showing a lot of snow in the northeast, and again, that's a possibility. Definitely the interior part of the northeast is going to get a good amount of snow in the next couple of weeks, no cap. But the coastal portions where people actually live in, like Boston or New York City, right, there's definitely potential for a snowstorm. And if you look closely towards your area, towards any of these ensembles, right, you could see that some of the models are actually showing at least like 6 inches of snow in some of these areas, right? So it's definitely a very very it's a possibility. It's winter, obviously, but right now it looks like there's a ridge in the United States, and we kind of have to wait some more time as the season progresses. But looks like the pattern is going to continue for the next 2 weeks. But after the next 2 weeks, right, there could be big fluctuations in the atmosphere, right? And that's kind of what February is known for, right? That's why spring is severe weather season, right? Because you have the sun is actually kind of working towards bigger storms in this time period, because we still have a lot of cold air, but the air is warming up from the sun, right? So there's gonna be like drastic, like, because like Florida could probably heat up a lot. There's a lot of moisture that goes up the coast, and then it collides with extremely cold air that hasn't warmed up yet, but the south is already warming up. It's like, and that creates a massive storm. That's why severe weather, and big storms are more common in like February or March, reasons like that. So yeah, so the GEFS not really showing anything too big right now, but let's see if we have any other models. Here we got the CFS that I'm pretty sure it goes wind speed, convective. Yeah, let's just kind of go through the CFS real quick and see what it's showing. So It's actually showing that I forecast like February 17th that there's more cold air going through the northeast. Wow, now this is a crazy amount of insight, right? So, we take a look at the current kind of like pattern, and this is just the upper air. But the upper air directly, this is 850 MB, so this is kind of like very close to the surface. So you could basically say that these temperatures are, very close to the surface. So as you could tell, there are a couple of storms. This one is a milder version of a storm here that comes through, and then as we continue going through, this again, this looks like a cold front. This isn't a big storm. And then as we continue, right, more cold air coming through mid-February, like I mentioned to you guys, and then another warm storm. But then as we continue, this right here, look at this, February 25th, 2023. This would be a massive nor'eastern, right? If this was actually off the coast like this, and look at how much cold air is coming down here. So, like with these very, very cold temperatures, right? That that would mean that it would be snowing throughout the northeast, right? Because the 850 MB temperatures, they are below freezing, so it would be all snow in the northeast and stuff like that. So, it looks like towards the end of February there's more potential for winter storms, and I would say there's a 10% chance of a winter storm in the northeast in the next like 1 to 2 weeks. But then like the mid-February or end of February, I think that there's like at least a 50% chance of a winter storm right now, because we haven't seen any snow yet, and I think that the weather is gonna be a very unexpected. And again, the trend recently has been that there's been more snow than average in February or March. So I do think that this winter is going to be full of surprises, and you guys may think that, oh my god, it's not going to snow all winter, but like 2011, like it snowed in October in the northeast, right? But then like it didn't snow the whole season, right? So I think that the end of the season could have something extreme, something major occur, and I think that's going to contribute to like I think that it's just going to like contribute to a winter storm eventually happening. But again, yeah, like you guys saw, we're going to get that good precipitation in the next 2 weeks across the United States, right? So a lot of drought relief for a lot of areas, right? But the second part of February, right, looks like there's going to be bigger potentials but the biggest potential for winter storms right now, I would definitely say, is that in the upper Midwest in the next 2 weeks, right? And in the Rockies, obviously, and some snow in the Northeast where the mountains are, but definitely not too much, nothing out of the ordinary, right? But the biggest snow locations probably going to be the upper Midwest and the Rockies, right? The Northwest, because that's how the ridge is going to be, right? So the storms are basically going to be riding that ridge that's going to be over the northeast. So warm air in the northeast, right? And then the storms, there's a massive potential. Upper Midwest, Minnesota, and all those areas, yeah. You guys are gonna see a good amount of freaking snow. Same thing with the Rockies, right? But northeast, personally, not in the next 2 weeks. After that, maybe we gotta see. But yeah. So that's kind of my update for today, guys. And yeah, as you can tell right here, the 8 to 14 day hazards outlook, again, a lot of snow throughout this western portion of the United States, and that's going to translate all the way up to North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, right? That's where the biggest chances of snow are. And yeah, let's see. So that's my update for today, guys. A transition from La Nina to Enso neutral is anticipated during the February-April 2023 season. So since it's transitioning to Enso neutral, that is a very, very good kind of like setup for snow in the Northeast, right? So that's what you guys got to keep in mind. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day and peace out.